It's been almost a year since we've had the PS5s in our home, since that fateful day where the USP man came and knocked on my door and told me to enjoy like he knew what was in the box. I still can't believe that. What a day that was. That was a great day for 2020. I mean, we were pretty short on great days in 2020 to be fair. But I can't believe it's almost been a year now. I've had Luther, my PS5, in my house, staring at me, guarding me, for a whole 365 days, so it felt only right to look back at my year with the PS5 and go through my thoughts, feelings, experiences with the console after its first year of launch. I want to break this video down into 5 areas to look at: the hardware, the software, the likes and the dislikes, and the things that I would like to see improved in the future of the PS5. Before we get into it, a quick disclaimer: I do work for PlayStation, so you may take my opinions with a grain of salt. I don't work like anything to do with the PS5 really, I'm just part of the company doing small bits and pieces, but all the opinions are my own. And yeah, we got given the PS5 because we all worked really hard on it, and it was a rough time working on the PS5. We all had to work from home, there was a pandemic, and it came out on the month where we went into the second lockdown, which was really rough. So I feel like it's like, I don't know, it feels special to me because it's all the hard work. I look at it and I'm like, God, we all worked so hard to get it. And now I have, where is it, my jacket, that I'm part of the PS5 launch team, so I'm very happy about that. But yes, you may take what I say with a grain of salt. So let's go back to the day in question first. Oh, the best day that I can remember of last year. I mean, I had some other good days, but this felt really like being a kid on Christmas Day. Like, I was so excited. We'd all worked so hard on it, and it was gonna come in the post, and I'd never, ever received a console on launch day ever because money, being a kid. So this was the first time that I could really, in the scale of PlayStations, get one. I mean, if I didn't work for PlayStation, I think I would have bought one. I'm not sure. I don't know how life would have turned out. It would have been a different life, I suppose. But yeah, it came, I unboxed it, I put it all together, and I sat in front of my TV the entire day just feeling wowed at this brand new piece of tech. Like, the controller was so different, it just looked amazing. I was just so excited to, I think it was mainly Astrobot that really sold it for me. It was a great first title, and the controller really sang using that game. I can't imagine playing another game as the PS5 launch. I don't think it would have been as an exciting adventure as it was, but it was cool to get the Greg's box, to call my friends. We were all talking about it, doing the pin. It was amazing. So that's my experiences of the day. After that day, it became my primary console from that moment forward, really, thanks to a lot of the improvements and stuff that the PS5 allows you to do, which made sure that I could make the switch and unplug my PS4 forever. Poor little guy. Me, Beth and Chris are living the next gen dream. Look, we're playing Astrobot together. The pin.
Oh my god, we can do it when we're playing Overcooked.
Yeah, oh my god, that's such a good idea, Bear. This is amazing, and the quality is really good. So let's dive in with my look back at the hardware. The PS5 launched in November of 2020. It didn't launch on the same day for all markets. Some of us had to wait longer than others. It was the 12th of November for those lucky enough to get their hands on one. The rest of us had to wait until a week later on the 19th of November 2020. Apart from some though, I think it was India and China had to wait until 2021 to get theirs. As of October this year, the PS5 has sold 13.4 million consoles. The PS5 also came out with a range of different accessories, including the newly named DualSense controller, the 3D Pulse headset, the HD camera, the media remote, and the DualSense docking station. Later on that year, a range of different colours came out for the DualSense and the 3D headset for those of you who wanted to come in black. So this is where my PS5 currently resides on my desk. It's in the vertical position, as you can see, on the stand, and it's very tightly packed into this corner. Oh, I should have dusted this a bit better. So, but this is the disc version. You're going to have to struggle to see, but the disc is right behind there. It isn't the greatest place, but this is what I had to work with, so I just sort of get my arm around there and stick the discs in. But to be honest, I don't have that many disc PS5 games. Actually, my PS4 games that I still play that are there. Still have 2 DualSense controllers. These are the only accessories that I own. Although you can see this one's a bit dusty because I don't really use them very often. I mainly use my DualShock 4s for any PS4 games, and I only use these for PS5 games. So I'm a bit worried about breaking them, and they're not very comfortable on my little tiny baby hands. Look at this. I feel like it's a big stretch for me, like compared to the other one. All my Oh gosh, all of this is really dusty. I should have checked all this. But it comes out this side, all the fans. Not that I really hear them going that much. All the things plugged in. Got my Ethernet cable in. This is to charge. So what I've got in here, I use this one to charge my PS4 controllers. There, because it requires a USB. And then I use this back one, which feeds around here somewhere, to charge the DualSense. Although this is probably fully charged, to be fair. I just have it plugged in the entire time. The other thing I do have, you could just see down here. I don't want to disrupt it too much, but I do have. Oh, what's this? There's something else down there. Oh, I think it's a Doctor Who sticker. I do have an external hard drive. I bought the PlayStation Seagate one. So that I can have all of my PS4 games on that, and all of my all my PS5 games on here, and all my PS4 games on that. So that's all the hardware. I don't own anything else. I don't have the headset. I don't have the controller. It's literally just these guys. Will I update? I don't know. I like the idea of getting more colour dual senses, but I just don't like the controller. I'm like, meh. Maybe might get the 3D Pulse headset. But that's all I have equipment-wise. So far, it's done me well. I'm a little bit worried about the scratches, like, because this is quite a shiny surface. Like, I don't want to be that person that's really pedantic about, making sure things look clean and whatnot. But I am concerned about around here, because I do find it quite difficult putting this USB in. Oh my god, are there scratches? I'll never know. So yeah. Oh, I can see a few. I can see a few up here. Sad times. But I just find it really difficult. It's difficult USBs. You always put it in, doesn't work. Switch it around, doesn't work again. Put it in around the other way, and then it finally works. So yeah, I've had no issues, touch wood, so far. The only problem I had was one time I think I messed with the hard drive, and it was like, oh, you messed with the hard drive, you're going to have to do something. But it was fine. So yeah, good, very solid on this stand. No problems. I look forward to taking it to its new home at some point eventually. But yeah, hardware has served me well so far. Since the release of the PS5, the system software update is now on version 21.02-04.03.00. This is as of October the 20th. The most notable update came in September, which improved many aspects of the UI, including improved trophies, which obviously was a highlight for me, SSD expansion, 3D audio through your TV, and other quality of life updates. There was a lot of PS5 games released last year, a total of 441 games to be precise, excluding backwards compatible games. So that's excluding all the ones on PS4 that you could play with your disc, because the PS5 was also backwards compatible, which meant that you could play all your PS4 games on your PS5. Even the discs worked, which was a really great news for me, as I spent most of my year playing PS4 games. Out of all of these games though, only 5 titles can be exclusively played on PS5. That is Astro's Playroom, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, Returnal, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which is actually 6 titles. I'm a dumbass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. With the fun facts out the way, let's take a look at the UI as it stands right now. So this isn't my favourite UI of the PlayStations. I think I preferred the PS4 over this. But as you see, we have these 2 bits, like the games bit and the media bit, which is fine. Oh, you've got to click on it to get to the next bit. But I did at the very beginning of owning my PS5 find it confusing as to where I was looking for certain items. The menus were a little bit cumbersome. It was hard to navigate. I've got used to it now, because then you've also got another menu when you press the PS button, this quick action menu down here, where you can find things that you just took for granted, like where your friends are, or your notifications, and stuff like that. It's all buried down here, but then settings are up the top here, and then there's your profile and stuff like that. It all got a little bit confusing in my book, especially when I was looking for things. I wasn't sure whether they sat under media or they sat under games, because media didn't seem, I get it now, it's like TV and whatnot, but media seemed a little bit of a loose term. But overall, I quite like this quick action bit at the bottom. I wish the trophies were there. That's, as someone that really likes, hunting trophies, it's not very quick to get to them. I guess you could go to profile and trophies like that, I suppose. I've never done that before until this very second. I'm learning even 1 year on, and then we can jump into trophies. One of the biggest updates that did happen was the levels changed last year in, I think that was a bit before the PS5 actually, yeah. And this also thankfully changed. It used to look so much different. It was like card based, it was very difficult to read. It's nice just seeing all your trophies in a list. I do miss, however, the progress bar at the top where you can see how close you are to the next level. Right now, these numbers don't really mean much to me. But yeah, now we can read all of this on one page. Before it was like a side scrolling thing, so you wouldn't be able to read Emmy to save your crew from an overwhelming attack in one bit because it would scroll. So very happy that they made this update. What happens if we compare it? Oh, we can compare it with all of our lovely friends. This is actually one bit that I think is a little underutilized actually. So they've got the accolades section here, which seemed like a big deal when the PS5 started, but I haven't really seen any games really pushing it. They've added a new one. They've added leader. Before there was just helpful, good sport, welcoming, and now we have leader. I've only got 2. I can't remember where I got these 2 from. Maybe it's because I don't play online games very often, if at all. And when I am playing online games, they're mostly PS4 games. So maybe as more games come out, this might see a little bit more interest. I'm not really sure what the purpose is of it. No one really goes about gloating about their accolades. It's kind of a nice thought, but not fully realised yet. I also like this bit here, the game section, where you can see how much time you spent playing your games and when you last played them. So for instance, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I played for 53 hours and I've loved all of them. So I think that's cool. And this goes all the way down to PS4. I don't think it has PS3 games. I also like the call out here. You can see whether it's a PS4 game or a PS5 game with the handy little badge there. Out of the games that I could have played this year on PS5, the 441, we can go over to the handy games library and see how many of those I've played. So we go to my collection. I want to go to ones that are only PS5 because I have played a lot of PS4 games this year. So if we go to platform, PS5, you can see that I have played 11. Oh no, that's not right because I haven't played all these, but I have played 11. So I've played Ghost of Tsushima a little bit. I need to get back to that properly because I did most of it as the PS4 version before the PS5 upgrade. But I definitely played Demon Souls, Astro's Playroom, Destruction All-Stars, Ratchet and Clank, A Plague Tale, Returnal, Sackboy, A Big Adventure. Oh, I did play a bit of It Takes Two actually. That bumps me up. And what else? Overcooked All You Can Eat, Bugsnax, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So a good selection there, and as you can see, I've got quite a few other PS5 games from PS Plus downloads, which I have yet to try out, but I would like to. I need to get into, out of the ones here, I would like to play Resident Evil Village. There's not many third-party titles that I'm that interested in, to be honest, that have come out on PS5. It seems like a lot of COD and Battlefield and a lot of online stuff that doesn't really float my boat. I'm all about those, you know, action-adventure titles. So I'm looking forward to next year getting my teeth into God of War and Horizon. But I suppose, yeah, looking forward, games I would like to play, definitely Resident Evil Village, probably Life is Strange, and Kena, Bridge of Spirits. I haven't played that yet. Let's dive into my storage and see how I'm doing storage-wise a year later. So we can go down to here. And, okay, so I haven't upgraded my storage. This is the original storage that came with the console. I have only 190.7 GB left. Oh, hang on, I still want to look at this properly. How do I click? Oh, so I could click on this and see the games and apps in my storage. Wonder what the biggest game I have. So Returnal is pretty big with almost being 60 gigabytes. Oh, same with Demon Souls, just shy of 60. Not got too much else going on. Ghost of Tsushima is a big install. I've been trying to be good and keep on top of only having things installed that I really play, so I should probably get rid of Destruction All-Stars because I haven't played that in quite a long time. I don't know why Astro's Playroom is installed twice. That's concerning to me. Maybe I should look into that after this video. So that's what's taking up most of my space. My media gallery, because I record a lot of videos, that's taking up... Oh, I can't really see properly by looking at that, but that's taking up a lot. Save data, not too shabby. And then other, which I'm guessing is all system software stuff. That's coming in, yeah. The storage space is reserved for system data needed for games and apps to work properly. The amount of space reserved depends on how your console is being used. Interesting. So not much we can really do about that. That's coming up to 30 gig. So not too bad. I'm trying to keep on it. Of course, the bulk of my stuff, I've not really had to delete anything. I've never like tried to install something and it's like, oh, you've run out of space. Maybe because I'm just trying to be good and efficient. So this is my external hard drive, which is 2 terabytes. Again, getting close-ish to filling up. Still 400 away. But this is where I have everything that used to be on my PS4. So before I made the switch to live on PS5 forever, I just downloaded all of the games, all of my saves to this, and then just plugged it into my PS5. And we were good to go. It was a very quick and easy process. And anytime I play a brand new PS4 game, I've got it set to that it automatically goes straight to the hard drive and not onto my PS5 drive. So that's what it's looking like here. Will I upgrade in the future to get more console storage? Maybe yes, because I've not got that many games installed and I'm already on the brink. But then maybe I just have to be better at managing my media gallery, because that's almost coming up to 100 gigabytes, which is a little excessive just for videos. So after having my PS5 for a year, what are my favorite... I keep doing... I'll say to start off, my first favourite thing was the launch titles. Not that I've ever, as I said in the beginning of the video, had a console at launch to really compare this to. But honestly, I thought it was a great lineup, especially for someone like me. It was like all the games that I really wanted to play. Demon's Souls was a massive, like, exciting thing for me because I loved the original. I was very much looking forward to a remake. The rumblings of a remake had been in the rumour sphere for a very long time. So to see it come true was really exciting. There was also Spider-Man Miles Morales. Spider-Man on PS4, a very good game. Whilst this was a smaller experience, I still expected good things from it and I was not disappointed. It was such a fun game to play, especially with that 30 frames per second action happening. And Miles was just a much more fun character to be, in my opinion. I actually preferred that game to the PS4 Spider-Man one. And then of course, how can we forget my favourite, my boy, Astrobot. What a game. That was the perfect game to be packaged in with the console, just because it really brought together what the PS5 was about, like the feelings, the sounds. No game, in my opinion, since Astrobot has come out has really recaptured that feeling of just the power of the PS5. It loaded so quickly. The controller was just so much fun to use. It really, like, you know, used the haptic feedback to its max. It used the sound that came out of it to its max. Oh, I just love that game. I'd love to play it again and again. And I'm really excited for when more games become properly next gen, not just this half and half PS4, half PS5, because that's when we'll really see people really using the functionality of the controller more and all the other bits and pieces that the PS5 can do. There was also Sackboy, which is a good game. It was alright. Not really to my taste. I tried it. It was fun-ish, but I found it quite annoying. What other games were there? I think there were some games that I wasn't really too into that I missed. Bugsnax came out for free on PS Plus. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was a great lineup. I think in the past it's been things like that Resogun, which I wouldn't have played for PS4, that was. And then probably a Gran Turismo thrown in there back in the day. You know, stuff like that, which wasn't really my cup of tea. So this was like the perfect launch game-wise for me. What else do I like? Well, I've mentioned in the software look that I very much love how it's so much faster. I have been spoiled with how fast things load. It's going to be very odd if I went back to play a game on PS4 and I have to like sit through loading screens. I'm having to untrain myself to the point where a loading screen will come up and I automatically just go to pick my phone up to look at it. But by the time I've like just done the touch things to open up the screen, we're already there, and I'm like, oh, haven't even been able to check Twitter. But do I even want to check Twitter? No, I want to be playing a game, so I like it. It doesn't break my immersion because it's just so fast. Things are happening, things are loading. It's great. It blows my mind, and now I've become a little bit blasé about it, which is quite bad. The backwards compatibleness of the machine is literally a game changer for me. So as I said, when I was looking at my games, I've not really played that many PS5 games. A lot of this year, I've been going through my backlog playing PS4 games, and that's been made possible by the fact that I'm able to play those on my PS5. You guys, if you've been a fan of the channel for a long time, you know the little cupboard space that I live in. So I can't actually have my PS4, because the PS4 is massive. It's a massive beast of a machine. I don't have space for my PS5 and my PS4 to sit harmoniously side by side to be switching between the two. So I had to like just pull the plug on the PS4 and just plug the PS5 in. But thankfully I was able to do that because it didn't really feel that much different, because I could play everything. I had all my saves, I had all my games, I could use my controller. It was like having the PS4 Plus. Which was obviously handy for me. May not be great for you if you're like, well, I've bought this machine and there's not much to play on it, because at the beginning it was great. I was playing Demon's Souls, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Bugsnax. then Sackboy. I had a big chunk of PS5 games, and I think from the latter half of the year, from say about maybe May, I've been straight on the PS4 games, and there's not that much I think that I am interested in playing in the near future until the next load of games comes out next year. So I'm very thankful and grateful that I'm able to play all the games that I love on one console without having to switch between the two. And the fact that you can use your the accessories from the PS4 is just so good as well. Like, as I said, the PS5 controller, I'm a bit worried. Like, I've not had any problems with it. I know that some people have used it quite a lot and said it's broken for them, which was one reason why I like using my PS4 controllers to play PS4 games. But the other reason is just that I find that certain games, not all games, I've been doing a bit of experimenting, it hurts my hand to use them if I use it for too long. Like, I think it's like Dark Souls and Returnal that I find the most trouble. Like, after a while I just get a pain like here, which I don't get when I play for hours on my DualShock 4. I think it's just the stretching and maybe other things I'm having to do for those games. But I played Spider-Man, it was fine, and I played Ratchet & Clank, it didn't have any problems. So I think it's more of a game to controller ratio that I've got to work out there. But yeah, so I'm very happy that you can use all that stuff. If I had a PSVR, I'm sure I'd be very happy that I could still use my PSVR and all of that gubbins. So that's pretty cool, and I hope that that continues in the future, for future consoles, hopefully. What else do I like? What would be... Oh! This is one that I'd forgotten about. Haven't used it a long time, but the party stuff, you can now do share play for an unlimited amount of time, which was really cool. I used to do a bit of share playing back on the PS4, but you had like an hour time limit. Even if you weren't playing, you were just watching, it would still time you out after an hour. Whereas this, I think you still get an hour time limit if you're going to actually share play. But if you're just sharing your screen, you can do it for as long as you want. And the pin-in-pin, the picture-in-picture thing was really cool. Me, Bethany, and Chris used to do it all the time back in the day over Christmas. He would be playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I would be playing Demon Souls, and we'd just have each other's screens in the corner, and then we could just watch the other person, what they were up to, if you weren't doing much. That was great. I love that feature. And the party chat's much better as well. I'm not sure if you can cross party chat yet. I'll have to check that out, but hopefully you can. But I just feel like the quality's a bit better. You can have more people in it. You can have more than one person sharing your screen as well too, which is really cool. I like that a lot. So that's a big improvement. I also use the headset and the audio jack a lot. I never really listen to my games out loud, so I liked all the extra features that you have in that. There's a bit more control over your sound. You can mute yourself, because obviously the PS5 comes with an inbuilt microphone. I remember before I had problems where I'd use my headphones on the PS4, this is, and it just had a mic inbuilt and there was no way to mute it. So I was like, I used to have to put myself in a party chat by myself to stop people hearing me in games where there was no mute functionality. But now I can just press the mute button and I'm happy. Also, the big trophy stuff. I love the videos that get recorded. I think that's really cool. I like the fact you can turn it off if you want to. Screenshots are still great. The trophy sound obviously changing. That's sad, but we'll get into that into my dislikes. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that big update that they did to the trophies. Hopefully there'll be more of that to come. And I think that's it for everything that are my favourite things about the PS5. Things that I don't like so much, the UI, like I said, not my favourite, a little bit cumbersome. I'm more used to it now, but there's menus inside of menus. I got very confused in the beginning, especially trying to redeem a code. I was trying to get my Spider-Man code, and I kept downloading the PS4 version, not the PS5 version. I didn't know where the versions had gone. I was all lost in the menus, which was quite frustrating. I think maybe they might have sorted that out a bit more, or maybe I've just become more accustomed to how it looks. I've said a lot, not a big fan of the DualSense 5, which is a shame. I like the idea of it. It's more just the form factor, I suppose, for me. That's unfortunate. Games-wise, there's not many third-party... That's really loud. Games-wise, there's not really been that many third-party titles that have interested me, apart from Resident Evil 8. I guess there was, like, Assassin's Creed, a lot of Call of Duty's, Hitman, Deathloop. None of those have really appealed to me yet. Looking forward to hopefully some more next year that I can, get into and play. A lot of the stuff I've played this year are just first-party games. But that's why I'm a PlayStation fan, I suppose, because otherwise I'd be a little bit stuck. These are all the games that I like, which are on PlayStation. Thankfully, I'm able to play them, so that's good for me. Feels a bit less social, I'd say, the PS5. I did notice that a lot. Maybe this is partly a me thing as well. Definitely over the years, my socialness on the PlayStation console has waned. I was very much in the the social sphere on PS3. PS4 died off towards the end. But here, without the what's new, it feels like a more isolated experience. For better or worse, I don't know, it depends if you like that or not. I only just think about it now and again, like, oh, I don't really know what anybody else is playing anymore. I don't really see it, because when you were on the PS4, you had that menu where you could see where people were playing, what they were playing, based on the what's new or on your friends list. But the friends list is so buried here that I never have a look anymore to see who's online. Quite frankly, I just don't care anymore. Whereas before I might have a little gander, see who's about. But now I just don't. I don't know if people are planning games. I don't know if people are earning trophies or what's going on. I don't know. I don't know if I liked or disliked the what's new. I can't say that I spent a lot of time in the what's new, but it was just nice to feel a bit more connected with other gamers, which I just don't feel is happening here. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Is that something that bothers you? I don't play as many online games, so maybe it's not a problem. I do like the party, how you can have parties and groups now and they stay together. That's pretty cool. I don't seem to get spammed as much. Maybe I definitely didn't turn off my notifications. Maybe there's a settings that I've done. I used to get a lot of spamming on the PS4 with people trying to invite me to games. Games I didn't even have. It was like, blank has invited you to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I'm like, I don't have it. Don't invite me. I'm not playing it. That was weird. So that's definitely stopped. I don't get as many bot messages anymore either. Or as many group messages where it's like, hey, sometimes I used to get invited to the groups that were just all people called Lucy or people with the same sort of PSN name as me. And it was just weird. It was like robots adding me or whatever. That was odd. So that doesn't happen anymore. So that's good. I suppose these are things I haven't really thought about. But my biggest complaint about the PS5, and I can't believe I'm still complaining about this 1 year later, is the lack of BBC iPlayer. Where is it? Well, that was the app I used the most. I don't have TV in my room. I literally use my PS5 as my main television, using the apps Netflix, YouTube, and BBC iPlayer. No, those were the big three. I did dabble with Disney Plus for a bit. That worked okay. There was a bit of problems with my Disney Plus in the beginning, but then it worked, but I don't have that anymore. But they all work really good. But I'm a big BBC fan. I love watching Doctor Who, and I feel like I haven't watched that much Doctor Who this year because I haven't got my BBC iPlayer. Now, I did used to plug in my PS4 just to watch it, but I couldn't be bothered to do that anymore. I also quit EastEnders thanks to the PS4. I mean, that could be a blessing or a curse depending on how you look at it. But I stopped watching EastEnders partly because it wasn't on in lockdown, and the other reason because I like just bunging it on my PS4 and then just like going and doing stuff on the laptop. You know what? I don't have time to watch things on my laptop anymore. In terms of watching things on your laptop, it's not a comfortable experience. I'm just like lying down, my belly's getting hot because the computer's getting all hot. I'm like at a weird angle. I know I'm a big girl now. I can watch things on the TV. So please, Sony, BBC, sort it out. Get together in a meeting. I'll facilitate the meeting if you want. Please, I just want to watch Doctor Who on my television on my PS5 again. Please. That's my biggest complaint. When will it happen? I don't know. I've got the other things. I've got 4OD. I don't really watch that much anyway. But yeah, as a British fan and a Doctor Who fan, I need BBC iPlayer back in my life. Thank you kindly. So for future improvements that I would like to see, I'm going to start with better use of the cards. The cards are a cool feature. They showed it off at the beginning when they first did the first look at the UI. And at the moment, it's only really like a handful of first-party games that are really using it. So Astrobot did a cool job where you could see where the collectibles were. Same with a Sackboy, A Little Big Adventure, or whatever it was called. Returnal used them quite cool as well. Like they had like how far you were getting on in the biome. They had the tracker and everything. Those are the three that I would say are the best that use the cards. Demon Souls, not good. They had cards, but they were really quite rubbish. So they would it was just like telling you areas that you haven't gone to yet, or about the bosses that you had to fight next. So you would click on the Flame Lurker and it was like, try dodging. It was literally like a real get good little bits of information, and then there'd be a picture of someone playing and they're just like dodging a bit. I watched the one for the man-eaters because I really struggled with the man-eaters, and the little clip is, again, it's just something really dumb. It's like, try using magic or don't get near the sides, and the clip of the person playing, the person's really rubbish, and I was like, this is a very not helpful video. So hopefully in the future, more games, not just first-party games, will take use of the cards feature, card functionality, because I think there's potential there, but it's not being used to its fullest. Most of the time, I do just sadly ignore the cards. The only time I actually use the cards is to go to the media gallery, because that's the only way I can feel like I can get to it very quickly. So yeah, more cards please. Speaking of the media gallery, I mentioned in the software thing I would like to see improvements to the media gallery as someone who quite often uses the share button to just, record bits of gameplay because I'm not always hooked up to OBS. I would really like to be able to maybe rename things, group things, make folders, etc. or filter through a bit easier. I don't feel like the UI and the menus going through that is as easy to navigate as it used to be. It just annoys me. Or at least being able to distinguish between screenshots and videos. Maybe even put the trophy screenshots in a different folder or something. Oh, that's it. Maybe you could have a folder just for things that you've saved. So pictures you've taken or videos you've saved separately from your trophies. At the moment it just feels like a big old dumping ground where it's like, it's all there, but then trophies have their own folder and that's it. Games have their own folder, which is cool. But yeah, I need a bit more filtration with that, and maybe I can be a bit more organized and get my media gallery storage space under control so it's not up to 100 GB, which it's fast approaching. Another thing that I was thinking about, the pin-in-picture thing. I think this could be a new feature that would be really cool for PlayStation or any sort of gaming to have, especially with the year we've just had. Everyone's online on Zoom. I want video. If you've got the camera or a camera, I would like to see your face in the corner of my screen while I'm playing a game, so we could both play games and chat to each other at the same time without it being like, oh, we're gonna play a game and chat like this. So like party chat but with video party chat. Wouldn't that be cool? Would anyone else like to see that? I'd like to see that, especially if you've just got the camera in your room, or if you're playing something like Jackbox, which I did a couple of times at the beginning of the year. We'd get Jackbox parties together, so we'd all be on a PlayStation, but then we'd also need like an iPad or your laptop with the camera somewhere else. If you could do that all in one hub, that would be amazing. Digital parties are a thing that seems to be here to stay now. Whether you like them or you hate them, it's a very convenient way for people to meet now, and it's not so like, how do we use it? Because even your grandma was zooming you probably in 2020. She might have had her face like here, but she was doing it. So yeah, I think that would be cool. I'd really like that. Maybe it can only be one person to one person as a start. But, sometimes it's nice to, like, play a game and talk to someone. You don't have to be there. That's the thing with these video calls. It's very much like high pressure. You have to just sit there and stare at each other. You can't really do anything else. So that's something that I'd like to see. Also, as I mentioned a lot in this video, the controller. Maybe some different controller sizes for my poor little baby hands. I know that they did a third-party range of controllers for the PS4, so maybe that'll come down the pipeline eventually, I hope, because I would actually consider checking it out. If my problems continued, maybe it's because I've got this weird sort of phobia of the controller now. I've not really trained my muscles to do it. I'd be curious, I dread to think how like other people, like children, are playing the PS5, because maybe they're just like, they've just got to get used to it. It's a tough life if you're a kid these days. Just, get on with it. Your hands might be small, but that's the way it is. You'll grow. The end. What else would I like to see? More trophy updates. I'm very happy that we got some. Trophies seem to be an overlooked section of PlayStation to people. As we know, there's a big hardcore trophy fan base out there, and I feel like we get neglected a lot. You could just do a little quality of life things. Like the cool thing they added was the tracker, but it only seems to work for PS5 games, so that might become more useful in the future. But for now, I find it a little redundant, as I'm not really playing many PS5 games. But maybe, yeah, bring back some more of the stats, bring back the progress bar, so it's not just this weird sort of ugly stepchild thing that's like buried in the corner, like, oh yeah, there's these trophy things. Make the I don't know, the platinum sound a bit more interesting. They got rid of the trophy sound we all knew and loved. That's gone. Now it's all bling, bling. I think the platinum does have a bit more of a bling, but it's still not iconic enough. I think they all just sound the same, so maybe let's do something with that. But I think that's everything that I would like to see for future improvements. For now, those are all the ones that I wrote down. I'm sure over time the console will change both the software and the outside. I'm very excited to see if there will be, well, there's always going to be new iterations of the hardware. The PS1, PS2, PS3 and PS4 all had like 3 different versions of the hardware, so that would be exciting. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the PS5. I'm loving my time with it. I'm a big fan of how it looks, how it runs, everything that's going on with it, and I'm very happy. Thank you, Luther, for your year of service, and happy birthday. I would pick it up and bring it with me on screen if it wasn't plugged into a billion things and I was afraid it was going to break, so let's just pretend. Happy birthday. Maybe I could just Photoshop it in if I could be bothered. Happy birthday, 1 year PlayStation. I look forward to seeing you blossom over the years and eventually get taken over by your newer, brighter sibling, the PS6. But hopefully not for a long time yet, because I'm hoping that my PS5 will serve me for quite some time. I'm imagining, might be another 10 years potentially, because the console cycles are getting longer and longer. My god, when the next console comes out, I could be 40. No, at least 38. God, save me from time. Right, that's it. That's everything I've got to say about 1 year of owning the PS5. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on the hardware, the software, your likes, your dislikes, your future improvements, anything I spoke about on this video. I'd love to hear them. Have you managed to get a PS5 yet? If not, I'm very sorry. I hope the luck sees upon you favourably this Christmas. Until next time, enjoy your gaming, enjoy trophy hunting, and I shall see you all in another video. Goodbye and take care.